In our last page of our study guide, we're going to continue looking at segments formed by secants and tangents, as well as looking at the equations for circles. So let's start out on our top two, which is dealing with segments. First one is have two secants. The second one we have a tangent and a secant. So let's set this up. If we have two secants, we have a times the quantity of a plus b equals c times the quantity of c plus d. Our a and our c are the outside, so it's going to be 9 parentheses 2x minus 7 equals 7 times the quantity of 7 plus 11. Distributing this 9, we have 18x minus 63 equals 7 times 7 plus 11 is 18. Let's go ahead and do 7 times 18. It's 126. 18x minus 63 equals 126. I'm going to add 63. I get 18x equals 189. I'm going to divide by 18. I'm going to get x equals 10.5. Now they want us to find CD here, so that's 2x minus 7, so we're going to go 2 parentheses 10.5 minus 7. It's going to be 21 minus 7, that's going to give us 14. Looking at our next equation, our next diagram, we have a squared equals b times the quantity of b plus c. So what we have here is we have our a squared is going to be 6 squared equals x minus 7 times the quantity of x minus 7 plus 5. What's going to happen here actually is we're going to get our we combine these, we have x minus 2. And what's actually going to happen here is we're going to have an x squared, where we're going to end up using factoring out the quadratic formula. You don't actually need to know how to do this problem for our test. Let's look at our next questions, 41 and 42. Now, to find the center, we're going to take the opposite signs of the number inside the parentheses. So the center is going to be negative 2, comma 7, and the radius is actually the square root of the guy at the end. Square root of 16 equals 4. The center here, there's no numbers inside parentheses, so the center is actually the origin, or 0, 0. Our diameter is the square root of 121, which is 11. Now here they're asking us to write an equation of a circle, so what we need to do is take x, take the opposite sign of this, squared, plus y, opposite sign of this, minus 4 squared equals, we have to take 7 squared, which is 49. Number 44, well, we need to know the radius, and the diameter is 20, so that means r equals 10. Center is negative 9, 0, so I'm going to say x plus 9, quantity squared, plus y, we can say minus 0 plus 0, or I can just say y squared, equals 10 squared, which is 100. Next one, again, they're giving us the diameter, which is 9. The radius equals 4.5. So I need to say, again, I'm taking the opposite signs, x plus 7, quantity squared, plus quantity of y plus 1 squared equals, I'm going to do 4.5 squared is 20.25. Okay, they're giving us the radius here, and again we're going to have to square that eventually, so let's take the opposite signs here. X minus 12 quantity squared plus y minus 5 quantity squared equals, now when I take the square root of 89 and I square it, the square root sign and the squared cancel out to give me 89. Alright, with the number 47, they're giving us the center, which is great. That's going to be x minus 2 quantity squared plus y plus 2 quantity squared. We need to figure out our radius so we can square it. Well, they're telling us the circumference is 12 pi equals 2 pi r. If I divide by 2 pi, that's going to give us our radius. So our radius is going to be 6, which means we have to square that to get 36 over here. So this is actually our equation of our circle. Over here, they're giving us the area, 225 pi. So 225 pi equals pi r squared divided by pi. So we have r squared equals 225. If I square root both sides, that means that my r equals 15. Again, I'm going to take the opposite signs of the inside, so it's going to be x minus 0 squared, or we can just say x squared, plus y minus 10 squared. Now what's going to happen is I need to square this 15 over here to get us back to 225. So if you were to say x plus or minus 0 here, it doesn't make a difference. It's still the same thing as saying x squared, but either one of these are correct answers. This one they're giving us the center and the point on the circle, so what I've went ahead and done is give us the distance formula, because in order to find the radius you need to know the distance between the center and the point on the circle. So let's call this x1, y1, and x2, y2. So from back in the day we've done the distance formula. So I'm going to say x2, which is negative 1 minus negative 4 squared. I'm going to take my y2, which is 9 minus 7 squared. Let's solve what's inside here. These turn to a plus, so I have negative 1 plus 4, that's 3 squared, plus 9 minus 7 is 2 squared. So inside here I have 9 plus 2 squared is 4. This is going to be square root of 13 is my radius. Now let's plug this back into my formula. I'm going to have x, opposite signs, plus 4 squared, plus y minus 7 squared, and I'm going to take this radius and I have to square it again so that the square root and the squared cancel each other out, meaning in my equation it's going to be regular old 13. In question number 50, they're giving us a graph, and what we do know is that the center is negative 1, negative 3, and what I also know is the radius. Now all I have to do is count left, right, up, or down. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, just to prove it to you. 1, 2, 3, 4 up, 4 down, and 4 to the right. It doesn't matter which way you go. So my radius equals 4. So let's use this information right here. My center is negative 1, negative 3, and my radius is 4. I'm going to say x, opposite signs, plus 1, quantity squared, plus y plus 3, quantity squared, equals, remember I have to square my radius, 4 squared is 16. That's the equation for the circle with the graph given. Good luck on your test.